And now, broadcasting live from the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Halloween edition of In the Know.
Good morning, Craig. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You're looking a little devilish.
And you're looking like just a happy, pretty kitty.
Thank
right?
you. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's a great tradition that we have here on In the Know that if we have a show on Halloween, Megan's going to be a cat.
Megan's going to be a cat.
And
That's as far as I can get.
And I'm going to pull it together last minute. So, yes, my
whipped it
horn's
out
out
of
of
the
frame
bag.
now. Look at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes you a little taller.
That's right.
You just, yeah.
Yeah, so happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, it's great to be on the show here. This is a show we do every week from the campus of Craven Community College. We just talk about stuff going on on the campus or in our community.
We got a fantastic guest today.
We got Melissa Riggle with us today.
Yes.
Hey, Melissa.
Thank you.
Melissa's
Hey, happy Halloween.
A repeat customer. We love that.
I am.
And she got the memo to wear cheetah.
I did. I tried. This is as much Halloween spirited as I could muster up.
It's great, though. Yeah, so y'all both
Yeah.
look fashionable, and I just look like a cheap devil.
No, it works. It works.
Yeah, so welcome to the show. In a little bit, you're going to be talking with us about Trail to Tryon. Yep, coming up
Yes.
on November 9th.
Yes, that's right.
So before we get into too much of that, let's make sure we say hello to our friends in the booth helping us today.
Absolutely. Good morning, guys. Hey, Joseph.
Hey, we got Joseph and Holly.
Hey,
Hello.
Holly. Hello. Holly's got her Halloween colors on.
Black and orange. What? So if you're watching on the stream, we want to know what you're wearing for Halloween
Yeah.
today, right?
And the other thing I want to know is, are you going to keep your porch lights on for trick-or-treaters? Because I know that that's been kind of a debate as trunk-or-treat gets more popular.
Yeah.
That a lot of the little people don't necessarily go door-to-door anymore. So I'm curious to know from our listeners how many are actually going to keep the front porch light on and have the bucket of candy to give out. So.
Oh, I just assumed that's what everybody was doing. That's what I'm doing. I mean, I know they have trunk or treat events, but I figured those were all. I was trying to not be in your frame there.
It's okay. My elbow's in your frame.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I'll have the porch light on and be giving out candy. Yeah. How about you, Melissa?
Because that's every parent wants to see.
Yeah.
We will take. I've got a 4-year-old, so we will be out and about, and we'll leave the lights on in the bowl out for everybody to be honest, right,
Yeah.
and take their one piece.
good luck
but
with that.
yeah, our street is a little cut back, and you don't really know that there's what's back there from the road, and so I think we don't get any trick or treaters really.
Okay. Yeah.
We lived there 20 years, and I can probably count a dozen
Yeah.
that have come. Even when my kids were little. So, I mean, we're on a dead-end street, same thing.
Yeah.
It's not worth the trip, that extra, down the street for.
So we migrate
average.
down and we find where there's a street that's a little more bustling.
Yeah.
That's where we'll go.
I get that.
Well, guess what today is?
It's Halloween, right?
It is Halloween.
Oh, it's something else.
It's National Knock Knock Joke Day.
Knock knock joke day.
Knock Knock Joke
Okay.
Day. So, are you ready? Knock knock. Don't look at the screen.
Okay. Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
Don't cry. It's just a joke.
Oh, okay, good.
Now, Joseph did these. So,
No,
they're ready. Ready for another one? Don't look.
okay. I'm not looking.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Bean.
Bean who?
Been waiting for Halloween all year long.
Nice.
Thank you, Joseph, for covering my beans and my booze. You know what else it is? I don't get a segue button, but guess I do get a sound effect. National Doorbell Day.
Oh, a doorbell.
A doorbell.
Doorbell, yeah.
Well, that's because everybody's knocking on the door
There it
for
is.
Halloween treats.
Doorbell. That's right.
Yeah.
So National Doorbell Day will have doorbells ringing more than any other day of the year. The day recognizes the little buzzer, the unique tones, the rings that alert us to visitors to our doors every day of the year and cause our dogs to go nuts.
Yes, they do. So talking about like people leaving their porch lights on and that sort of evolving and changing. Now that so many people have Ring doorbells on,
Yeah.
a lot of times I don't even press the doorbell because I know they already see me there. It's like
You just wave.
a wave to the doorbell.
I had to drop something off for some friends, and somebody had given me a whole bunch of vegetables and fruits and that kind of stuff from their garden, and I was clearly not going to be able to eat them all. So I took a basket and I put it on their front porch, and they had their ring bell. So I leaned in. I was like, "Hey!" Well, they screenshot it, and that's the Megan sticker. So
Nice.
whenever I reach out to them, that's what pops up. So. Yeah, I mean, technologies can be fun.
It can be,
funny.
yes.
Speaking of, guess what I did yesterday?
Oh, it's segue button. Sorry, segue. Okay.
So yesterday, I was very fortunate to be invited to participate, but also attend the Defense Industry Supply Chain Summit, and also known as DISC, D-I-S-C. And our in-house friend, Erin, I'm hopefully I don't mispronounce your last name, Ananine Gentile. She's our Erin Ananian Gentile. Holly just corrected me, and there she is in the
Thanks,
middle.
Holly. Yep.
Thank you, Holly. And she's the regional business development professional here in New Bern, and she's housed at Craven Community College for North Carolina military business. And of course, Ricky Meadows is on the other side, and he and I got to participate. Erin was the moderator, and we participated in the session that was Fortifying the Future, Enhancing the DoD Industrial Workforce. And I would say that Ricky and I, we represented Craven with gusto.
Yeah.
It was awesome. You know, we really did a good job feeding off of each other and pulling each other's good stuffs out. So I think that was really exciting. But we were also in a panel of some really cool folks. So Dr. Charlene Stokes, she's the Manufacturing Technology Program Office. She's the program manager, but she comes from the Office of the Secretary of Defense. So it was really kind of nice to, I saw her in another session and then be a part of that. So it's really kind of cool that it was like coming from DC.
Yeah.
And then of course Ricky and I, and then Brandy Bragg, and she's Workforce Connector. She's the Northeast North Carolina Career Pathways. So she's up there in that northwestern corner of Eastern North Carolina, but she's a part of a different workforce consortiums. So it was really good. It was great, and it was neat to see there wasn't a lot of academia representation, so being a part of what we did, it was really kind of nice to be able to share how we are supporting DoD, whether it's future employees, the war-ready boots on the ground, and those that support them as well. So it was really cool.
Yeah, that's great that you get to be there. And obviously that's a big part of your day today, because you are located on the Havelock campus, and so you work with a lot of the Marines that are on base and the ones that are either transitioning out or still in. So,
and also the training that we provide for FRC East as well. So, you know, we talked about a lot of the folks that were there were other industries in the country, mostly in the Southeast, because they want to do business in North Carolina. So there were small businesses figuring out, how do I join and be a part of supporting DoD with the services or products that they have. If you have questions and you'd like to know how to do that, reach out to Erin. I think we can put her contact information, Joseph, on the link and with her email address. And so give her a call. She will walk you through that process.
Yep, great.
So she had other team members there that was the same thing. I mean, they need help, and they were saying that, you know, there's a lot of they'll put stuff out there and they don't get a single bid. And sometimes the process can be a little daunting and maybe a little confusing. So people like Erin can help walk them through it.
That's great.
Yeah, it's exciting. North Carolina is a great place to have business and very military friendly.
Well, it's great that you were able to go there. That was in Charlotte, right?
It was in Charlotte,
and
yes.
so you were there up until it was yesterday afternoon, and then you drove all the way back and got home last night so you could be here with us this morning.
Because I needed to pull out that kitty costume out of
that's right.
out of the drawer. So, and there was one other thing I was going to tell you about. Oh, Central Piedmont Community College, which is where the actual event yesterday, the conference was held. They did a fantastic job. It's a beautiful campus, so shout out to them. Their IT people were spot on there to help. Food was great. I mean, couldn't have asked for a better 2 days. So we went to Hendrick Motorsports, and how they also support the Department of Defense with building all kinds of parts and motors and chassis that help go into some of our
military vehicles. Yeah, okay.
And then the GE Defense building as well, who also makes tactical trucks and stuff. So yeah, it was really cool. It was a great event. So
awesome.
Yeah, so I appreciate our partners that are with the Defense Industry Supply Chain. So
all right,
thank
great.
you. Yeah,
we'll put that link in the comments if anybody wants to reach out to Erin.
Correct.
But so I don't have a segue button. I'm just going to say there's other great things going on
in New Bern
and around Craven County.
And Melissa is always here to share.
That's right.
Well, thank you.
Good morning again, Melissa.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here again.
Absolutely.
Third year in a row.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
That's right.
Yeah,
but
it's
you've
our
come in
third
between
annual.
doing other things.
Yes, I think of a couple of other events or
Mm-hmm.
topics that have come up, but Trail to Tryon was our first one, and now we're on year 3.
So for those that are not familiar with Trail to Tryon, can you explain what that is?
Trail to Tryon is a half marathon. We call it more than a run, an experience. And it's a 5K, 10, and half marathon event. It takes place this year on November 9th. The TDA, or Visit New Bern, that has organized and developed this event, we created this from nothing. And the idea behind it was to create an event that provided more than just the route and the run. We wanted to provide, an experience afterward and a way to attract those runners, those participants into our downtown and to stimulate our local economy. And ultimately, we wanted to create an attraction for visitors and out-of-town guests. Mm-hmm. And we, worked really hard on putting this all together. The Trail to Tryon, we've kind of worked on a lot of the details that I think you don't find in a lot of the other runs, throughout the region and beyond. But it starts at the gates of Tryon Palace. Every race starts with a cannon start. Mm-hmm. So interpreters will come out and they will fire off the cannon, and that's what starts each route. The route has been very strategically created, so it starts in downtown in front of the palace and goes throughout Union Point Park, over by Cedar Grove Cemetery, goes down Pollock Street. So it's, anybody that even has visited downtown just knows those are beautiful views.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a little historical run through town.
Yeah, too. You go by the birthplace of Pepsi, Christ Church. I mean, so there's just a lot to take in. And then you finish up. It actually goes all the way at Lawson's Creek Park into Trent Woods. And then when you finish at the History Center, which is another beautiful venue, waterfront, and we have a finish line celebration that's there to welcome back the runners.
So you keep saying we. What are the we's?
We. So I like to say we.
I'm going to turn your mug because you've got this beautiful logo.
We are Visit New Bern.
Yep.
Visit New Bern is the marketing arm of the Tourism Development Authority, so the Craven County TDA. And the board 3 years ago gave me the latitude and the approval to create a sports and events committee. And that is made up of local stakeholders and just various. We've got the retail side covered from Coastal Soul. Mel Wisnett has been on the committee. We've had the economic development director from Craven County, who actually also created the routes, Jeff Wood. The city and county parks and rec directors. We've had Stephen Clayton with Coastal Concierge, and then of course the race director herself, Miss Judy Avery, who couldn't be with us today, but Judy Avery, who handles Visit New Bern's social media and is very well known throughout our community for lots of other events and things that she puts together, but tasked her with being a race director about 3 years ago, and to say that she has taken the ball and run with it would be an understatement, and has truly made this a huge success. So she has led the we in this committee, and my team, of course, with the visitor center, and just kind of all hands on deck. And we've coordinated using the resources that we have and through the committee, and we'll be out there ourselves at 5 a.m. start that Saturday, November 9th, and we'll put it all together, and just looking forward to it. We've got our largest registration each year. We've seen growth. We started the first year at 256 runners, and today we have 366 and still have 9 days to go. I was sharing this morning with Joseph that I'm not a runner, so I don't understand this mentality, but we've talked about this.
Yes.
They'll wake up day of, and if it's beautiful weather and they know there's local folks know that there's a 5K, they'll sign up that day.
Yeah.
So how do you sign up?
You can go to visitnewbern.com, and the Trail to Tryon page is on there. Run Sign Up is also another way you can go through that portal. There are posters around town that have QR codes on them, or if you want to come by the visitor center, we can help you, and then you can also register up to 30 minutes prior to the race that day.
Or you can also look in the comments of this
Yes.
podcast.
Well,
'cause they
thank
just
you.
posted it,
Yeah.
and make sure the link is there.
Yeah,
I
Joseph will
appreciate
put
that.
in there.
Yeah, so that's great that you changed that to now you can register day of, or a day of, right?
And, hindsight's everything, and we got a lot of runner insights, and that was one of them. And so we have, each year we make updates and enhancements that continue to just help us elevate this race and event. This year, we've been so fortunate. We have we don't call our title sponsor or presenting sponsor just a sponsor. It's a partnership. Weyerhaeuser has been with us from day one with this and have really just embraced this as their community event.
Yeah.
We have feather banners that will be throughout the route this year that will feature Weyerhaeuser and the trail, and it's helping runners to navigate the course. The 10K is sponsored by Carolina East. We've got the half marathon, which is Trader Construction, and the 5K is Chad Satig Insurance. So of course we've got signage and things that you can position and find them throughout the route as well. And then we've got sponsors throughout as far as the water stops go. We've got 7 different water stops, and we're trying to keep them hydrated. That's another thing. We do runner feedback as well. We send surveys out to our participants so that we can also get real-time feedback and make sure we make updates and modify accordingly.
Do you need any volunteers?
We are always looking for volunteers. They're very excited this year. We feel like this is really starting to get a lot of traction in our community, and people are really starting to look at this as a credible, just a good, worthy event. Not that it wasn't, but sometimes it takes a little bit to really say that we're a solid event and we're here to stay.
You have to establish yourself.
We have to establish ourselves, right? So
yeah.
as we continue to mature this event, we've gotten a lot of good volunteer support this year. Always looking for more. With the Rotary group, the Noon Rotary, that meets at 1, which is my Rotary. They've got support from there. Bill Stafford, who's also a TDA board member, helped to create a group that's going to put the signage out. We have course monitors from the Volt Center and from Craven Community College that are going to be out there. So we've got, it's kind of just directing traffic and the flow of runners. We're going to have championing and cheerleading for them.
Yeah.
So they're going to be cheering people on for spirit. We also will have volunteers at the water stops and then at the finish line and the start line too. So there is still on that run sign up and on the Visit New Bern website, the portal, you can go to our volunteer page and still see where there's any opportunities or any gaps that we might need some fillers.
So to keep the runners and the volunteers and cheerleaders safe, can you share a little bit of the route that will be, maybe the roads will be closed so people that are driving by can be careful?
We have actually not closed any roads this year.
Okay, cool.
We have worked with the City of New Bern Police Department to come out, and they will be at some of the critical points or any of the pressure points there to make sure. We've got cones and things, but they will be there to help direct and make sure everybody is safe, to your point. And then we have course monitors that are also strategically placed at some of those pressure points throughout downtown, turns and whatnot that may be overlooked or, just may have some kind of a tricky catch to them. So that we've got people that are actually there to help direct that as well. So we are using that and signage. The route, again, starts in front of the Palace Gates, goes throughout downtown New Bern. You'll go by the Convention Center into Union Point Park. So you'll see both PD, real live and people that are there cheering as course monitors. You'll see signage. You'll see a good mix to help direct and keep everybody safe.
Yeah.
And the routes are also available online because we've learned this as well. Those avid runners will go to look at the routes and kind of look through and research where they're going, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
So
are you going to go and figure it out and pace yourself?
Oh, look, I've
doing
not
it?
been able to run it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this is
the year.
Yes.
Year
What do
3.
you think you'll do?
I haven't trained up for a half, so if I did anything, it would probably be a 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That's pretty
just
impressive,
a 10,
though.
right? I don't it might be a 10.
That's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm slowing down. So
Are you?
yeah, I am for sure. But that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, this is
or it'll be a
fantastic.
challenge, and I'll just be stubborn, and I'll be like, I'm going to do it today, and then I'll hurt.
Yeah, well, just take it easy. Just do a 5K.
Yeah.
Just come out and do a little one. The routes are all certified, and so they can be used for those competitive runners to advance themselves and to get certification for other races. But we also it's welcoming to everybody. It's first-time runners. We have people that run with strollers.
That was what I was
Ansley's
going to ask about strollers, dogs, any of that kind of stuff. What are
dogs
rules?
are not encouraged unless it's a service animal. But we have a lot of moms that run with strollers. Lindy from Tryon Palace runs with her twins and dual strollers, which is just amazing. And we've had Ansley's Angels have been amazing and come every year. And so those are the you have riders and gliders, so they'll be participating again. And those are the folks that are have mobility challenges that get to participate in that is just always so amazing. Last year we had several, and just watching the joy as they're coming and crossing over the finish line is just, it's goosebumps.
Yeah.
The proceeds of this race, it kind of fits in line with talking about military and the heritage and the history and all that we have in Craven County as far as our military goes. We are very fortunate that we've been able to provide proceeds from this event to the American Post, the 539 Legion that's here, and to help support veterans.
Awesome.
And it's Veterans Day weekend. So we're, it's just a very unique event that I think has really started to come into its own, and we're really excited with the future of it as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I will also add, for people who have not run before, a 5K is a great way to start. It might seem like it's too much, or it might seem like it's unattainable, but it's really the type of thing where you could jog for 30 seconds and walk for 30 seconds, or you can walk the whole thing if you want to.
Right. That's not intimidating. I've done a 5K. Judy and I did it ourselves last year at Neuse River Bridge Run, and while we didn't run, we were very actively walking through it.
You get to hang out with your friend and
we
talk
did.
for an hour.
Yeah, it was great. But so we welcome that too. It doesn't have to be about the competition behind it, but we make that so it appeals to both. But it's very welcoming, and so we're still taking registrations, and we encourage people to come and check it out. And if you don't want to run and you can't volunteer, or you just still want to be a part of it, the finish line celebration at the History Center, we welcome the public, we welcome the community. Come welcome the other runners. We do have a large majority that are some residents, but our goal with this, as the TDA's goal with anything, is to bring in the overnight stays and the out of town visitors. Over 60% of these people are coming from out of Craven County, so come and welcome in these runners and say hello.
Well, speaking of a lot of out-of-towners as well as local support, this is kind of like your event season, and it started a couple weeks ago. You want to share a little bit about just the impact of the most recent festivals and where we're moving forward in the Christmas holidays and things like that?
It is upon us, yes. We started with, of course, Mum Festival, which the city of New Bern and Swiss Bear are really kind of, to use that term, tip of the spear on that. So we're able to promote and amplify all of the great work that they're doing and what they're providing, and we promote it throughout the state and beyond. But they are the ones that really execute that whole event and make it successful. This year reported over 70,000 people that attended Mumfest and came into downtown during that weekend.
That's over the whole weekend.
The whole weekend,
okay.
correct.
Yeah.
And
it's
a lot of people. It's been significant growth each year. We think it's one of the highest as far as the attendance goes.
That's more than double our population, right? I mean, I don't know specifics, but is it?
Of our population?
Not of Craven
the
County.
City of New Bern,
City.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
City of New Bern, it is.
Wow.
That's great, and that's great that you've also been able to partner with, I forget the name of that technology company, but it's able,
Placer AI.
Yeah, so you didn't have that several years back.
That's
so
right.
Now it was always just like somebody holding a clipboard and guessing.
Yeah,
right?
guess number.
Yeah.
The clicker. We tried to use some scientific methods throughout. I mean, there's calculations through sales taxes and things like that you can use that the tourism industry provides, but this has been a game changer. It's a platform, and it provides a dashboard that you can geofence a point of interest, like the Trail to Tryon location that we're going to do for the 9th, Mumfest and all of downtown, and then you can, based on a date range, you can pull information and find out how many people actually entered into that point of interest.
Yeah.
It pulls anonymous GPS data from cell phones, and we can also...
It's great. It's great for marketing.
It is. We can also see their visitor journey. We can see where they went afterwards. 6% went to this location or stayed at this hotel, so we can track that. We can track their points of origin by zip code, so that we can also determine if our marketing is working. There's so many times, how many is your marketing working, and you've never been able to really correlate or see if there's a conversion. Well, now we can. So it's incredible. Most of the time people get a little scared and nervous when we talk about it, but it's all used for good. But the numbers helped us provide the attendance numbers for Mumfest. We'll also we're still working with the hospitality partners to get hotel information, to get a final economic impact, what it provided to the local economy. But historically, it's been over $1 million just for that one weekend.
Well, I mean, even for vendors or sponsors like us, I mean, it helps you to understand the marketing point of, is it worth being out there with the tables,
Oh, yeah,
finding
absolutely.
volunteers?
Yeah.
That's right.
But, and it's also a good sell for you to get new folks to come in because of the growth. So, I mean, it is great.
We've said that too. I mean, of course, with the sponsors, because now you can really say this is your demographic. This is how many people came to your booth, or how many people were in that park, or it is helpful for many purposes. And there's a lot of other functionality within that program that we're still getting into, but it's been helpful. And then we'll have that. We've got the ghost walks have been amazing. I've had tremendous success with that. And we'll roll right into the Trail to Tryon and the community tree lighting, which is the day after Thanksgiving. It's through this placer dashboard we can actually see the spikes in visitor traffic, and that is one of the highest throughout the year. Is that Friday after? So we've got that. The city does an amazing job. Berry Merry Events. We'll put together, have a lineup full of all of the holiday happenings.
Yeah.
And we also have got an amazing air show that Saturday after Thanksgiving from Titan Aviation and the Stallings family. They're going to do that aeronautical show. They've got more drone shows this year, and they've just added to it. So a lot of really great things to kick off the holiday season.
That's very exciting.
And there's lots of different organizations, obviously, that are hosting these events. It's not all coming from the TDA, but the thing that's important is that the TDA works with those organizations and has the site Visit New Bern, which is really good for having one central point for all those events. So if you're looking for something to do in your community, go to the Visit New Bern site, and you can go to the calendar, and basically every event that's happening in Craven County is posted on that.
That's right. A very important distinction. I mean, the Trail to Tryon came, kind of on the heels of COVID, and because we're not ordinarily event organizers. We are the promoters, and we're the destination marketers. But this was a little different, and we wanted to create something during a period of slower visitation, and so that's a little bit unique for what we typically do. But we work with those other partners and those other groups and organizations to help, bring in all of the visitor traffic that we can, exposure and positioning. We use events are a huge driver for visitor traffic and for our own, our community. Everybody's looking for things to do and ways to stay busy and active and keep kids busy on the weekends. And so the calendar that we host is on our Visit New Bern website. Our calendar has just been updated as well. We now have software that will use all of this AI tracking mechanisms, but any event that is within a Craven County zip code area range that's on Facebook or Google will be automatically pulled and generated into our queue, and Tammy, our visitor center manager, will be able to update and populate it into our calendar automatically.
That is convenient.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
where she used to have to do she would go to everybody's Facebook and just scour all of the typical people who hold events. Now it just comes to her.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's amazing.
And that's also good for, the rest of us.
It is.
Trying to find
something.
something.
And it quite literally is. And to the segue point, right? So number one, really glad you've been able to come on the show and talk with us this morning about Trail to Tryon. But number two, we always close each of our podcasts with a list of community events that are happening over the weekend or the coming week. And we use Visit New Bern as a resource to pull those events together.
I've seen that done.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much.
So we appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
So thanks for coming on the show, Melissa.
Yeah.
And now we're going to move to our very special segment that we have every week. It's time for community events. Are you ready, Megan?
Always.
All right. First up, we have a baseball game fundraiser Saturday and Sunday, November 2nd through the 3rd from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is hosted by the New Bern Southpaws. It's a great field, by the way. I'm sure you've been there, Melissa. We had a Craven Community College event that we sponsored there a few weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. So come and support your local team and help raise funds for Western North Carolina. Bring an item or cash to donate for entry. And the park is located at Kafer Park, 603 George Street, New Bern, North Carolina.
Let's play ball.
But yeah, let's play ball. Okay.
And then we're going to go to Burnt Bourbon and Barbecue. And I like the play on words, the burnt. Thursday, November 7th at 6 p.m., Swiss Bear is hosting Burnt, a brand new VIP bourbon and barbecue event at the luxurious Baxter's 1892 on November 7th, 2024. Tickets are available at downtownnewbern.com. The event is designed for connoisseurs of fine bourbon, newbies for those that are interested in trying a wide array of bourbons on the North Carolina Bourbon Trail, located at Baxter's 1892 at 323 Pollock Street, New Bern, in front of the clock.
That's right. Next Friday, it's time for Art Walk from 5 to 8 p.m. Join Craven Arts Council and Bank of the Arts for their upcoming Art Walk in November from 5 to 8 p.m. It's the first Friday of every month, right? Second Friday of every month. Okay, great. Thanks. They will be opening. That's it.
That's your
you
job.
need to back up every week. They will be opening a 2-month exhibition in their main gallery by Nada Corley. The Bank of the Arts is located at 317 Middle Street in beautiful downtown New Bern.
You get a phone call?
I am.
Decline. Havelock Food Truck Festival, Saturday, November 9th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mark your calendars for Saturday, November 9th, as the Havelock Chamber of Commerce is partnership with the City of Havelock brings you a day of food, fun, and festivities at Walter B. Jones Park from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The park will be buzzing with delicious food trucks, local vendors, talented crafters, artisans, and small businesses showcasing their best items. Located at Walter B. Jones Park, 2 Governmental Avenue, Havelock, North Carolina. Just a block away from our Havelock Community College, so if you need overflow parking lot, we got it for you.
We do. That's
we got
right.
you. We got you covered.
Okay, next Saturday we've got the Garden Lecture Series, Renolda Gardens, What Was Old is New Again. Saturday, November 9th at 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
That'll be my slogan today.
Over the past few years, much of the formal gardens at Renolda have seen tremendous changes, bringing the 1917 design implemented by landscape architect Thomas Sears into the 21st century. Director John Rothling will walk guests through the balancing act of respecting the vision of Catherine Reynolds while remaining relevant to a modern audience. This lecture begins at 10:30 a.m. in Coleman Performance Hall at the North Carolina History Center, located at 529 South Front Street in New Bern. Suggested donation, $5.
Ooh, cheap date.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, March for the 22. It's going to be a couple days after the Trail Tryon. Monday, November 11th from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. The American Legion will be hosting their 5th annual March for the 22, where participants walk 22 miles to raise funds, also attention, for programming that combats veteran suicide rates. The march will begin at 707 Main Street in Maysville. They also will, and we'll talk about more of this next week, but they've got a shorter route where you can join up the group if you don't think you can walk from Maysville. Mm-hmm. So there are some other options.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I believe that starts at Freshwater, is my understanding.
Ends at Freshwater.
Ends at Freshwater.
Right? Because it starts in Maysville.
It starts in Maysville, but,
and
we'll get more information on
I think it goes to the
shorter
park, and then they come back and hang out at.
Yeah.
Well, that's
we
what
will
they did
not
last
be a
year.
source of misinformation today. What we will say is that we'll give the correct details next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
So next week.
That's right.
Do we know who we have next week yet, Joseph? If you don't, it will be a surprise.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I know it's one of the instructors at Craven Community College.
Okay.
All
We
right.
have a
So we
Craven
got one of our
instructor.
local folks.
Nice.
Yes. And we'll have more information about March of 22 for next week. I also want to comment that you were making about Parks and County Rec. Shout out to New Bern Parks and Rec for their beautiful display, not only at the Mumfest, but how they upcycled the stuff and then created a whole nether instead of the arch. Then they've got a tier that's one of the guys that works for them. I think he welded it together. I don't know his name. I apologize for that. But maybe if somebody does know it that's listening, they can put his name in the comments because it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
So if you weren't able to get a picture with the arch or the welcome sign at Mumfest, great opportunity to continue to have a little fall festive photo. Great. It's a good time and go get your Christmas picture ready for your card. Just saying, moms and dads.
All right.
Also, don't forget on Sunday, it's daylight savings time, so we'll be rolling back our clock. And a little PSA, make sure that you are changing your batteries and your fire detectors and smoke detectors and whatever other detectors you have that require batteries.
Carbon monoxide, maybe?
Carbon monoxide
There you go.
detectors. Yes, thank you very much. So, you know what that means, though? That means that the sun will be setting that following day at 5:10 p.m.
Yeah. So it's dark when we leave work. Yeah. We're back to that time again.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It will be great.
We'll just wake up early and enjoy the day
The
on the other
sunshine.
side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We're good. All right. Anything else?
Nope, not for me.
Miss Melissa, do you have anything else?
I do have my team,
Yes.
has just sent a message. They're trying to pump everybody up.
Yeah.
We've got the Saturday forecast for November 9th now, and it is 74 degrees, no rain. So this is amazing running weather. And so for anybody who is waiting to see and check out what the weather's going to be like, to just maybe do a 10K. It's going to be great.
And I'm sure as tourism, you're like, who else has a place where you can have beautiful weather on November 9th, right?
November 9th, that's right.
That's 74 degrees and sunny.
Yeah,
and you can come.
that's great.
And if you want to just come hang out, finish line celebration at the History Center, and then an after party after that at Poppy's.
Oh,
I mean, you
the
can't
first
go
you
wrong.
mentioned a poppy party.
Yeah,
we like
right?
a poppy party.
So you can't miss that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Very good. So again, happy Halloween to everybody. Make sure that you don't stuff anybody in a little warm, toasty little costume tonight, because it is going to be one of the hottest on record for the country.
Okay.
And it's going to be nice weather this evening for little guys. But I remember one year I put Brianna in a little suit with the hood, and I think she was a bumblebee, and she got prickly heat.
Melted. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, baby.
Yep.
So, yeah. But anyway, in the meantime, for all of our trick-or-treaters, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.